Yay!
Yes, we are. And we're going to be awkward. So Jaz and I, well, Jaz is two Aussie thrifters, and she lives in Adelaide. How do you say your city? Say Adelaide. Adelaide, Australia, South Australia, correct?
Correct.
So we've got an Aussie and a Texan, and we're here to have a cocktail together, first of all. Cheers. Yeah. And it is 10 a.m. for poor Jaz.
Okay.
I know, but that's all right. Nobody's judging. It's Sunday afternoon, right? Nobody's judging. No, but we're just here to chat and get to know each other. So I think we met, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago in CHATS, right? Yeah. And I don't know, you and Brad are just super cool, and I think we all hit it off pretty fast. Don't you?
You've been so kind to me ever since the first time you saw me walking past in the background. You're like, who is that? Get her back on. I was like, no.
Well, y'all are so cute.
How was you, Shy?
Yeah. Did you start out shy with YouTube? I feel like you.
Yeah, I was quite reluctant to start YouTube, but now it's just become kind of normal. It's just what we do.
Right. It just kind of overtakes a part of your life, at least. And you think you have a slight addiction, maybe?
It would be strange to stop now. I think it's because we've met awesome people like yourself, and if we just disappeared, it'd be like,
I know.
Where'd they go? Why'd they stop? So we just always want to keep checking in and getting to know people more.
Yeah, you guys do a lot of recorded videos for sure. So, but I've noticed you do have a weekly live. So,
yeah.
Do you plan on just keeping that at a week, maybe, or you plan on doing?
Well, for now, I guess maybe we'll run out of people or interest, but.
So now, I feel like sometimes I just go, I want to go live all the time. Like, you don't have that feeling, do you?
Oh, I'd be exhausted. I don't know how you guys do it. It's amazing. You do marathons.
I know. It's kind of disgusting, right?
Disgustingly great.
I know. Anyway, I'm going to say hello to some people since we've got a few coming in. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm ignoring them. I'm just being goofy, and I'm just happy to be hanging with my Aussie, my hottie Aussie. I think I put in the description, the hottie from Aussie. We have Grant here. Hi, Grant. How are you? And of course, Brad is the other half of the two Aussie thrifters. Chat. And Drew, another Aussie. And maybe Sarah's here with Drew. I'm not sure. Hi. And then we have Ken.
Working.
Yeah. Ken and, she is. Dang. Ken and Michelle and Pat Dees and Tommy, Ian, Thrifties, Marie, Richard, thank you guys so much. Mr. Sadie, Larry, how are you? Thanks for coming in. And this is just super informal. I don't do interviews, and I just thought it would be so cool there's a lot of cool couples, and I like the fact that you two do this together. And I wanted to dig a little deeper into that. So, in a very, casual way, but I can't remember if you're married or not yet.
No, we're not married. We've been together for 13 years.
Oh.
And we've been engaged for 3, and I have not planned a single detail for a wedding.
That's good, don't you think? Or do you think you're missing out on something?
I think the longer we're engaged, the more trivial a wedding seems.
Yeah.
We're kind of already living the life that we want.
Right. Do you consider yourselves fiancés, or what do you call each other?
Fiance is kind of a weird word.
It's a weird word. It's like
this is my fiance. I guess I just call him my partner. Boyfriend sounds a bit weak after 13 years.
Yeah, right. So no near plans for actual marriage.
Who knows? Maybe we'll elope next weekend, but
there you go. Planning a wedding, it never seemed fun to me. So I see you're quite the same. I see the stress and the money that goes out for that, and I just never wanted that. You could come to Vegas. We could come to your wedding in Vegas. How's that?
Okay.
I'll plan your wedding. It'll take me 10 minutes.
I think that's what I'm waiting for, is someone to just invite me to it. I'm like, why hasn't anyone sorted it out?
You hear that, Brad?
Oh wait, you mean I have to plan it? Oh,
No, Brad will just invite you somewhere and you'll surprisingly get married, maybe.
that's fun.
No. Okay, so 13 years is a long time. When did you meet him? In school, I guess.
We went to different schools, but we met through friends. So I guess I was 15 and he was 16.
Oh, wow. Dang. So it can happen that way.
I guess.
Well, maybe the reason you're still together is because you're not married. Do you ever think of that? Like, there's no pressure. It's just
possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess we just kind of grew together as well. So all of our bad habits we made together.
You know, that's all a relationship really is. It's just a bunch of bad habits all
co-made. Your bad habits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As long as your bad habits go together, it's all good. Yeah. Oh my God. No, like
16. I don't know. He was kind of hot.
and you were just slightly hot, maybe. If you go to the same school, then how did you meet at school age?
His ex-girlfriend.
Oh, this gets better. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was hanging out with Brad's girlfriend at the time, and so I met him at her house one time, and then after they had separated about 3 months later, she was like, you know who's great? Brad. And I was like, that's a weird thing to say. Why would you say that? So she invited Brad over. And that was, and then we were together for 13 years. End of story.
Scandalous. This is a scandalous story. Oh, I like it. I didn't quite expect that, I have to say.
No, I couldn't even say it. His ex-girlfriend recommended.
That's awesome. That says a lot about Brad, though, really. I mean, a lot of those relationships don't end well, so she had high words of encouragement for this relationship. That says a lot about him. He seems like a great guy. And, you know, we only know each other, you and I, through chats and videos. And so you really don't, I mean, but you can kind of get the feeling of who is genuine and who is not, you know, and you guys just, yeah, you seem super happy. So that's cool. But so you guys graduated high school and then moved in together and you both.
Yeah. So we were spending a lot of time at each other's houses. And then after we finished school, I moved into his parents' house. And both of his parents were working remotely. So it was myself and Brad and his little sister, who's a year younger than me. So we were all living in their parents' house as a share house.
That's great. So you were just working jobs, or did you go to college?
Well, we were living in Alice Springs, and it is so easy to get work there. Like, I had people chasing me down the street trying to give me jobs. So we were all just working our butts off and saving. Right. But it is a small town, and it's really, really isolated. So there was a cutoff point where I had to say, like, I can't live here anymore.
Right.
Go.
Is your city bigger than where you are now? It's considered a big city.
Yeah. This is a small city, but it's so much bigger than Alice Springs.
Yeah.
I think Alice Springs has 30,000 people.
Oh, wow.
But it includes like people who live on farms for hundreds of kilometers around.
Right. Because I looked at the map and I noticed where you guys live now is kind of in I don't know, I would call it a bay, but I don't know what you call it. A bay. It's in the southern part of Australia. Oh yeah, I will check on the chat in a minute for questions. I know, I just want to know what I want to know. Sorry. I'm ignoring the chat. I'm bad. But okay, so you got what I'm trying to get at, I guess, is you know, you met young, you moved in, you had jobs. When did reselling become a thought? And how did you find it?
Not until we'd moved away, and we'd been living in Adelaide for a couple of years, and I'd gone through university with no financial aid, so I was broke. Brad was working an office job, and we just kind of needed something to do together. Like, he was interested in sports, I was more bookish, but we started going to markets together, going to op shops, and just getting a little bit like American Pickers and going into old men's sheds. And
so you went there with the intentions of reselling, or you went there with the intention of being frugal?
Something that we both enjoyed. Brad was kind of collecting like Nintendo stuff, and I collected 7 typewriters over that time.
Wait. Why?
We just liked it. We just were going out and just finding cool things, going, hey, I like that. I'll get it. But we lived in a tiny unit and we were accumulating a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So the first time that Brad thought of reselling was when he was selling off some of his doubles of games that he had. And then he just kind of got the bug.
Interesting. So I'm assuming here that he probably sold locally first.
Yeah, just Facebook. And then I think he put a couple of things on eBay and just realized, just had that light bulb moment, like, wow, we could do this with a lot of things.
Yeah. Like typewriters. Have you sold those yet?
No, they're just
okay, so you like to dust is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, love it.
Okay. I think that's because I don't like to collect things, and I think that's why I don't like to clean and dust. I mean, I do it, of course, but I don't like it. So I can't imagine dusting like typewriters. That's a lot. Or I guess you could let them accumulate dust, and that's a look too. Hey, Todd and Double Karma. Oh, Tiffany's here. Good. We're getting some more people in. Cool. So before we go any further, if anyone could put the Two Aussie Thrifters channel in the chat, that'd be amazing, because they're getting close to 1,000 subscribers on their channel, and they put out such good content. You guys are killing it, really, with your videos. I love it. Like, and it's like you're having. Are they awkward to you still, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will that ever change, you think?
No.
I know, right? Okay, because that's how I'm like, well, this sucks, but I'm going to just go ahead and put it up anyway.
That's what it is.
That is my attitude every time. I'm like, well, okay, maybe better luck next time.
I love the What's Old videos because they seem to be a bit different from everyone else's. You have interesting things. Like, what did Traci get this time?
Stupid stuff that I sold occasionally. But it's still fun. No, I love it too. I think that's a good way to kind of learn, you know, if you're out and see stuff that's cheap, you kind of have an idea of what it would maybe go for. And lately, honestly, I'm taking stuff cheaper than I normally would because, I don't know, I'm just having fun. I know. I'm just kind of trying to redo what I want to do, but I got to get rid of this stuff first, you know? So it's just part of the process. Hi, Paul. And Andrew's in here. Cool. So anyway, let's get back to you because you're way more interesting. Your videos, I've noticed. So Brad must do all the filming, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah. So Brad's the first one who said, let's film something. And it was because we were picking up a giant lot. We bought out an ink store that had closed down, like printer ink.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, this is too cool. We should show people. And we did a horrible, horrible video filmed on our phones in portrait mode.
Everybody does that the first time, don't they?
Every time. And it's just because we were excited. We were just like, wow, this is fun. This is cool. Like, how did we get this opportunity? How
big of a lot of ink was it? Like, huge?
Well, I hired a 22 cubic meter truck, which is the biggest truck you can drive with a regular license here.
Wow.
So it was a lot.
Have you ever heard of Lot of Josh?
Yes.
Okay, I think he kind of did a similar thing, but I think maybe it was film. But it just reminds me of how he got into it. So you guys have something in common. You might want to communicate about that, because I think he's still selling that. Do you still have some of that ink? And how long ago was it?
We don't have much of it. I think it was like 6 or 7 months ago that we did that. So that must be how long we've been on YouTube as well. We've got a couple of the bigger, like industrial size toners and 1 box of little cartridges left.
Oh, cool. So you've gotten rid of that unit, I'm assuming, or have you filled it up with other stuff?
We hired a truck, but then we just filled it all in our back room. Yeah. So it was actually just taking up real estate in our house.
Yeah.
So we got through.
Do you have a large enough house for all this, or are you feeling like you might be busting at the seams now?
We were busting at the seams when we lived in our unit, like really, really uncomfortable. So when we were looking for a house, we really specifically wanted like a room that we could list in, a room that will be our store where we pick everything and store everything, and a separate living room so that we can just have our space and it doesn't leak in there, but it totally leaks in there.
I was going to say, I've seen your videos. It totally leaks in. It has to. I don't have a dining room anymore because that's my stopping ground. Like that's where the stuff ends up before I find a place to put it, you know. And I think everybody has that space in their house that they want to be their own personal space, but will never be. But that's okay, right? I mean, yeah. And I mean, you guys are pretty young, so you're starting this out really early in life. I mean, I'm assuming you guys look young. Do you mind telling me?
I was 29.
Okay, that's very young to me anyway. So, I don't know. Yeah, so like at this age, having a full-time job, do you really want to like keep a full-time job forever, or is your goal to move into full-time reselling?
I think now that I've seen what people can do with reselling and that you don't have to go to a 9-to-5 every day, like that's pretty enticing. I don't know if I would just make the leap and just quit my job, but it'd be nice to kind of cut back and ease out of that and see if reselling.
Do you have like a goal of time where maybe, okay, in this amount of time, I hope that happens?
Not really. I mean, the faster the better, but we don't want to jump too early.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any rush. Like for as long as we can sustain going to work and doing our eBay, I think we will do that, because why would we give up an income?
Yeah. And benefits. I'm assuming benefits also. Yeah, I know.
I'd like to prioritize eBay because it just gives you so much more flexibility.
Yeah. Well, even with all the issues eBay's giving us at this point in time, I mean, don't you think it will still be a viable option for quite some time anyway? I mean, I know you guys don't really have an Amazon option so much from what I hear, right? Like the Amazon options.
Yeah, eBay's really our only big one. Mm-hmm. So it's harder in Australia to diversify and use several platforms. Mm-hmm. Which is why we're probably reluctant to just quit our jobs and rely on it, because you don't want to have all of your eggs in one basket.
Right.
But I feel like we could give some more time to eBay and a bit less time to the man.
Yeah. Who do you think would quit first? Between you
it was Brad. I think that kind of 3 months ago we had this idea that like we would get Brad out of his job, which he was not enjoying at all. But he did then get a new role. So now he's kind of a bit refreshed and learning something different.
Do you want to share what you'll do as you're telling this? Because I guess we don't really know.
Oh, yeah.
Perspective.
Well, I am a retail manager on a university campus. So the textbooks and what have you, university apparel.
Oh.
And Brad works in an office in the city. So he is in things I don't understand, but he does project management.
So, yeah, so he really doesn't want to, he probably more so than you doesn't want to work for the man, I guess.
Yeah, my problem is that I work alone a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's difficult to take breaks, but his job was not feeding him at all. So, yeah, on a spiritual level.
You gotta feed your soul. It's so important. I used to think that money was so important. I could care less about them. I mean, I just want to live comfortably, honestly. I never care. I don't really care if I am ever wealthy. I'll be wealthy in my spirit, you know. You got to find happiness. So, yeah, if you have a job that's not giving you anything internally, it's not something.
What's the point?
Yeah. Seriously, like, we have a short amount of time on this earth. I mean, I tell myself this every day. I'm like, is this how I want to spend my life? No. So, but also eBay is a little stressful too. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
At least it's your own and you can do with that what you want. And
that's exactly it. And it's just more satisfying to make your own money. When we hear that cha-ching, it's like, we did that. That's our hard work paying off, rather than getting paid every fortnight, but feeling like, well, what did I achieve?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm making them wealthier. Great. Yeah. Well, and I don't know. It's just, I hate to always be putting down like jobs. Like, I know a lot of people love their job. Like my husband loves his job. He wouldn't have it any other way. And I don't get it. I just look at him like,
but if you find that, don't let it go. If you love what you do, you've won.
But I feel like most people hadn't ever come across a job they truly love.
Or they love it for an amount of time, but then you learn everything you can learn, and then it's just monotony.
Yeah, and I heard you say, it wasn't that long ago, something along the lines of, you know, you can only go so far in a job. You see where your end cap is. And
yeah,
it's so true. When you know that's as far as you can go, even if you're not there yet, you still know that's it. That's the end of the line.
Even if I became the CEO of this retail store, like, that's how far you can go.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like the best job in the world on a spiritual level.
No. Well, do you two plan on having children?
I don't think so. I can't imagine it. I think if I was going to, then surely by this age I would have an inkling.
Yeah, that makes sense. Then don't do it. That's fine. It's awesome, but it's hard.
No. Yeah, I mean, I hope I don't kind of look back on my life and have any regrets, but I think a child should be desperately wanted, and I don't.
Yeah, because I knew when I was young I wanted children. I just knew I would have them. You know,
I've been asking women this lately. I'm like, so did you know? Like, did you always want children? Yes. Okay. All right. Well, that just kind of reaffirms that maybe it's not for me.
Yeah, and kind of where I was going with that question is, what a nice job. I wish I would have known that reselling was a job or something I could do for an income when I was having babies, because I stayed home with my kids because I wouldn't have had it any other way. But if I would have known that existed, you know, that would have been amazing.
Amazing.
I know. But that's cool. Everything happens for a reason. And someone asked, Ian, my husband designs computer chips. So he puts puzzles together on a computer, basically.
Do you feel good about that? Would be satisfying.
Oh, I would hate it. That would be like,
I couldn't do it.
I'm like, I have a hard time sitting at this desk as long as I do, because I was never like a desk person, you know, like any office job like that doesn't appeal to me, period. So, hey, Tommy, the bargain effect. Yeah, but so that's kind of where I'm getting with eBay is I'm sitting at this desk a lot more than I planned on it. So I bought a standing desk. So I'm gonna start using that.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll really get used, but it's there if I decide to.
All the time, like I can't. Yeah, I guess I'm the same. I think what I want from eBay is just to be able to like wear my UGG boots while I'm working, or go get a sandwich when I want one, or say I feel like being in the living room today with Netflix on, or today I feel like sitting at a desk and being really serious.
Yeah, that's so true. Because I know in the winter it's fun to just sit by the fireplace and with a laptop and list. So I've already been dreaming of that because it's been pretty hot here. I'm like, can't wait for winter now.
I'm a creature of comfort. I want to be able to make money and be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, where the worst thing you really have to do every day is make sure your packages get out. Like that's the only thing that really must happen. Like you can't fudge on that one. But other than that, you get to create your own. But I don't understand how you guys, you do very well on eBay. And I know you find really good items to resell. But when you squeeze in your listing and your sort, like you squeeze in a lot in your day, the two of you, seriously.
Well, I talk about wanting flexibility and being comfortable, but right now I guess we're working to get that, and we do have to build it, and we're aware that we really need to hustle if we want to make it sustainable. and something that can make us comfortable. So at the moment, we get up, we take the bus an hour to work in the city, work all day, bus home, and then it's like go time. So I'll cook a meal while Brad does some drafts, and then I'll pick the packages, and then we'll eat, and then we'll put labels on the packages, and we just work through and just get it done until bedtime.
That makes me slightly jealous. Like, I think that sounds amazing to have someone to kind of keep you going within this platform. You know, you guys get to motivate each other.
Oh, yeah, we're lucky.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, because a lot of times I hear, do you have to work right now? You know, that's what I get. Because I don't have to pay all the bills. You know, I do help out, but I don't have to pay them all. And so it's easy for me to go, okay, I won't. You know, but you guys are there pushing each other to be stronger and do better. And I think that's just a cool thing. And that's, I think, why I've gravitated to a lot of the couples in the YouTube reselling world. I find it super cool that you guys are on the same page, you know? Do you see that?
We're usually on the same page.
Oh, okay. Tell us about your fights. I want to hear about how you fight.
We're trying to get better at it. We don't often fight, but it always is just we've read each other's tone wrong. Like, what's your problem? I don't have a problem. You're mad. No, you're mad. No, we're like mad.
So who gives in first? Because someone has to apologize even if they're not wrong.
I just go and clean.
Okay.
We're just like, time out. You know what? Go into another room. Go and do something, and then reconvene and be like, hey, let's hit the reset button. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Again.
It's really that simple. Like, arguments are healthy, and just honestly, the reset.
I mean, it doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, we're both like, why is this happening?
You're just creating something so you can have makeup sex, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You got me.
Word.
God damn it, Traci.
I know. I figured you out. We're done. Bye, guys.
That's what let's do.
Hey, cheers to 10:30 a.m. in the morning, Jazz.
Oh boy.
I know. You guys just, I don't know, you seem like you always have fun. And I know in the videos, it's like, you don't get to see all of it. Like, but you guys should show an argument every now and then too. I would totally watch that on rewind. I would watch it over and over.
That's how we'll get to 1,000 subs.
Exactly. You got to do something really brave and bold. And I think that might be it. You could give him a little slack or something.
The glove.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I highly doubt. Yeah, I highly doubt your arguments are that intense because you guys are just putting in a lot of work hours, and it's probably just stress related, and you just need a break.
I mean, we consciously try to have fun and keep it light, so it's pretty rare. It's just when we're both exhausted.
Well, what do you do for fun? Is there something?
We go live with Traci on a Sunday.
That sounds terrible. No, I'm kidding. That's awesome. So do you kind of feel like you lost a hobby, or because that's where I'm at, just to be open and honest. Like, I had many hobbies and many loves, and you know, I had to reset my life kind of, and I found reselling, and I feel like I've kind of let all my hobbies go, kind of.
Yeah, I have. Well, yeah, I write, and my whole academic career was all about creative writing. So creative degrees are interesting because it was never supposed to lead to a job. But I guess I've stopped. I was getting a few things published each year and a community, and I need to get back on it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Even just in small
space for that, and I don't have any at the moment.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe this journey will inspire you to write something more along the lines of what you've experienced then.
Nothing better than experience.
Yeah.
Can only write what you know.
Yeah, and like for a while I felt like losing hobbies and stuff like that was kind of sad and pitiful. But honestly, it's not, because eBay kind of feels like a hobby in a way too, because you're hunting. It's like a treasure hunt, and I wasn't a thrifter to begin with, so it's kind of like a hobby then because I created it, So I don't know.
There are fun parts.
Yeah. Do you guys go on vacations or little trips or anything and kind of turn it?
Yeah, we've got one planned. We haven't for a little while, but we've got some ideas brewing.
Yeah, cool. What's your season right now where you are?
We're supposed to be heading out of winter into spring, but it's lingering.
Yeah, okay. So it's about that time that you would want to plan a trip, I guess, huh?
Yeah. We sometimes take our kayaks out, but rarely.
Oh,
because it goes just from winter to summer, so we've got to get those good couple of weeks in between where it's not hot or too cold.
You should vlog that. You should make that a full vlog. That would be so fun to watch.
Get a GoPro.
Honestly, it's just to see you in it's just to see you in a bathing suit because I know Brad will video your butt
all the time. He says it's not on purpose, but it's
such a lie.
It is consistent.
It's very consistent. And Tommy pointed out, I go, you're right. Yeah, and it's usually like at the beginning of the video just to keep people's attention, and I don't have a problem with it at all.
How embarrassing.
You got a great butt, so just know that. Cool.
Thanks.
I know. Nothing else other than making this awkward. It's all good.
I love awkward.
Okay, good. I know. I literally told Jaz, I'm like, this is going to be really awkward. No plans. We're just here chatting.
I have not even looked at the chat because I'm the worst.
I haven't either, and I'm sorry. So there.
We appreciate you.
I don't know what else to say. We came on at a weird time on a weird day, and we're not looking at the chat, and that's what we're going to do. No, but I just think you guys have been doing this for what, under a year as far as YouTube goes?
Yeah, as far as YouTube goes.
Okay. I think probably about the same time as me. I don't know. I started in March, I think was my very, very first video. Do you know when yours was?
Ooh. It's got to be close.
Okay, I think we're right there together on our time frame. You guys have put out a lot more videos and a lot better quality for sure. But I think that has to do with the team. I think that teamwork is super good for YouTube, especially because you guys can play off of each other, and you can kind of, you probably have a process together. I'm assuming Brad does the editing.
Oh yeah, I would have no idea how.
Okay.
And he's just self-taught.
So he does the filming also. And you're the eye candy, and you help shop, and you give content as far as being next to him when you're speaking and showing your hauls and all of that. And it's a pretty good team. Where if a single person is doing, imagine doing it just yourself.
I can't.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So it's, I want you to appreciate what you've got there, because I think there's so much you can do with
100%.
Yeah. Because I want to hand the camera to someone, and I'm always like, no one will do it. No. So can you move here and help me?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Right on. Yeah, plan your next trip to Texas. How's that?
Yeah, I do have family in Colorado Springs.
Oh my God, that's where I want to be right now.
We'll be over there at some point. It's just not scheduled yet.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to Colorado Springs this past summer, and I postponed it. It's one of my favorite places in the U.S. Have you been there before?
Nope.
Ever in the U.S. at all?
No, I've been to New Zealand, and that's all.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you probably haven't. That didn't even hit me. You guys are so far from everything. Like, in the United States, we travel, a lot of times by road trip and a lot of times by air, but we do visit. Most people that live here do quite a bit of traveling and visiting of other places, but you really don't have a lot of options.
We have airplanes.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying for weekends. Yeah, like a long weekend or a 4 or 5 day trip isn't really feasible for you.
So it's like we can go into the surrounding area around Adelaide. We've got the beach down one side, and then we've got mountains down one side. And at the top and bottom of that is like wine country. So you can go out and spend a weekend in the vines, but it's really touristy, and they just charge so much to go and stay in an Airbnb that it's like, we might as well just go to Bali.
Right. Exactly. Because you got Bali, you have Fiji.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, kind of off topic. There's a place called Kangaroo Island. When I was looking at the map, there's a Kangaroo Island right there. What the heck?
That's where we got engaged.
Aw, that's so cute. Well, tell me more. Like, is it just, I just envision it as just like a habitat for kangaroos? I don't know.
There's so much wildlife. Not just kangaroos. It's like you have to be so careful when you're driving because we saw an echidna, we saw kangaroos, wombats, koalas, rabbits. Like, it's just crazy over there.
So it's like a protected land. Like,
yeah, I think it must be. I mean, it doesn't have all the traffic, and I don't really think there's predators over there. Yeah. So it's flourishing, but it's super touristy. Like, people just drive down and take the ferry across and spend a weekend or a week there.
Okay. It sounds kind of like Catalina Island would be to California, maybe, like a touristy spot with a bunch of animals on part of it. That's cool. So wait, what did Zahir said? If I lived in Australia, I would love to visit Japan. It's close, right?
I mean, it doesn't seem close.
I know. It looks close on the map, but it's not, is it? It's very
not really.
I feel like we need a geography lesson, honestly, because
I mean, if you're gonna sit on a plane for however many hours, then I guess it would all just blur together. It's probably not too big of a difference once you get over kind of 6 to 9 hours on a plane.
So half a Xanax away, Zahir. Hey, Tanya.
About 8 inches on the map. It depends on your map, Andrew.
Right. I know. And then the globe messes it up a little more. So, because it's round. I don't know. I'll never know. Oh, how funny. I don't know what they're asking. So, I'm just talking to you. It takes too much time to go back and read.
There was a lot of wildlife at our engagement, says Tat Doctor, although my fiance asked me to call them family.
Oh.
We had no one at our engagement. It was just us two on a deserted beach.
That's perfect. How are the beaches? I assume the beaches are white sand and gorgeous and like, I don't know.
They are. The water is Arctic, so you're not getting in it.
Oh yeah. It's cold all year then. You can't really get in it.
No, I mean, people do. I just think they're crazy. In some ways, man, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they can wear like wetsuits to keep warm somewhat.
You just pee and then it's fine.
Yeah, for a little bit, you just gotta keep peeing.
We're hydrated if you're going in the ocean.
Yeah.
Everything in Australia can kill you. That is true.
Okay. Thank you, Pat, for putting in their channel over here. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely check out their channel, Todd. It's so good. Okay, so you guys are mainly clothing, right? Wouldn't you say that's the majority?
That's a huge chunk, yeah.
Yeah. And so you guys started showing these RM Williams and shoes or boots or whatever. And you guys did a big buyout of that too somehow. And I don't know was that a wholesale deal or was that a closing out of a store?
This was kind of unique. So, because RM Williams is local to Australia.
Because I'd never heard of it till you started talking about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone in Australia knows RM Williams. That's really funny to us. That's like one of our iconic brands.
Yeah.
Factory in Adelaide. So we've always seen a fair bit of it in the op shops, but I'm not sure of the details of it. But our local Vinnie's stores got a huge drop of new with tags RM Williams straight from the company. So I think Brad knows more about the details of how that came about, but there was just suddenly this flood of brand new RM Williams in our thrift stores.
That's odd. That's really odd, though.
Which, yeah, well, Brad saw it. I think we went shopping with my family, with my cousin and aunt and uncle in one of our videos, and we walked in and I said, "Oh, look at this huge 5 extra big RM Williams shirt. It's new. We should get it." And then we turned around and there was 5 more. So we bought them all up. And then Brad was like, "No, that's really strange. Why has that happened? Why is that there?" Yeah. So he had a day off of work and he just went around to suss out what else was around and realized that they were in every single one of these op shops. So he actually just
wait, they went and spread it around to the different shops. Like
they were in all of the outlets of this one particular op shop.
Okay.
So he bought it all.
That's so bizarre, though. Like,
it's so strange. And he was just like, "Well, this is never going to happen again, so I better take it all."
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and I know you have a video about it, and I kind of started watching it. I'm like, no, I want to finish it after I talk to you a little bit. But what an incredible buy, and you find it in thrift shops all the time used as well, and it sells super high used. So you guys have really conquered that. And I didn't realize they had a factory there, though. So that's probably a big part of that. But
definitely.
Yeah, and I went to an area of my town, Austin, Texas, yesterday, and saw my first RM Williams store. I'd never seen one. And I'm like, and of course, I'm in a swanky, shopping district right at this point, and it was just bumming me out because I'm like, I don't shop like that anymore. I went for very specific reasons to this area, and it wasn't to shop for myself. So, I mean, it was, but not for clothes. And I wanted so bad to go in, and I'm just like, no, I don't, because I'll just get sad that I can't afford anything in there. They're high priced, right?
They're really pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them actually advertising on a job website last week that they need a material cutter, and the job was literally like cutting the leather and the denim by hand.
Oh, wow.
They really are high quality.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I will go in one day, but yesterday was not the day because I was just itching to spend money, and I'm like, nope, not today, because I don't need $1,000 pair of jeans today.
I haven't bought new clothes in the longest time.
I haven't either.
Why would we unless it's something you really love?
Yeah, and it's about time that I do, honestly, because if I keep throwing out of them the way I am, it's time. But it's just so hard for me to do now, where I used to just drop every penny on clothes and not think twice. And I think
but
but don't you think thrifting kind of does that to you?
I never feel like the itch to go shopping because we're shopping every weekend, even if it's for our store and not for us. I mean, I do things for me as well.
Yeah, but you can usually find something that you like there too. It's just harder. It's more, it dictates what you wear rather than you dictating what you wear, kind of. But that's not so bad either.
It's sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, old school picker, thanks for coming. If anyone has any questions, if you put them in the chat now, I'll read them. Because this hour is going by so fast, and normally I wouldn't care if we stayed on for 5 hours, but we're doing something special.
It's very strange.
Yeah, I know. Schedule. I'm so against schedules. Like,
what have we done?
But if you don't know, if you hadn't heard, what we're doing is the other half of the two Aussie thrifters, Brad, is going over to Tommy Bernhard's channel after this. So in about 15 minutes or so, or I don't know if they're going to take a small break. I really don't know, and it's all up to them. But that's where we're headed after this. So do ask any questions that you would like to know about. We're skipping that one, Brad. Okay, we should ask that. Jazz, what is the best thing about Brad? That's a question from Brad.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You're a little shit.
You little shit. There you go.
The best thing about you. The best thing about Brad is that he is supportive to a fault. I feel like people say all the time, oh, I want a partner who challenges me. I have a partner who challenges me.
Yeah.
And it's both amazing and terrible because no one actually wants to be challenged. It's just something we tell ourselves. And then when we're challenged, we hate it.
Yeah.
But he motivates the absolute hell out of me. Good. And inspires me. And
I'm gonna cry. That's so cute. Like,
I can't say mushy things, but that's my favorite thing about him is that he just drives me.
What's the worst thing? That's what I want to know.
The worst thing about Brad is his farts.
Now we're getting to the deep, dirty, nitty gritty. He's probably one of those that just lets it rip and is proud.
They're aimed. It's
yeah, he's challenging you, all right. Yep.
I'm kidding, Brad. I'm kidding. He would never do that.
Blame it on the dog. Just blame it on the dog. It's all good.
Oh yeah, the cat gets blamed.
Question: when will Traci start reading the chat? Probably tomorrow. I'll go back through it and read it. There, Andrew. What is your biggest bathroom gripe with Brad? Asked Drew.
I don't have one. Oh no, you know what? He puts the toilet paper on the roll so that it's like it's not overhand, it's hanging the wrong. Brad, it's the wrong way.
That's the wrong way, Brad. I can't really associate myself with him now. I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
That's so wrong. Like, I thought as a world, I thought we've like kind of established that
that
it's over, not under, people. Crazy. Wow. I'm disappointed now. Let's see.
Does the water drain clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Oh, yeah. Why do people keep talking about your water drain?
No. It's the opposite to America, whatever that is.
Really. I don't get it, though. So if somebody wants to explain that to me, maybe Brad can explain it on Tommy's channel, because I really don't understand why people always say the toilets flush the opposite direction and has something to do with the pole or something. I don't know. I don't care. I mean, as long as it drains, right? Your pipes drain, so it's probably good.
It works, so I don't question it.
I've never even looked. I don't even know what direction my pipes drains go. So. Okay, does Brad put the toilet seat down or leave it up?
I don't know. Oh my God, now I'm going to start noticing these things. You guys.
I don't. No, we're not going there. No. Oh, bye from track. No big deal. Here saw that on The Simpsons once. I remember seeing that way back in the day. They talked about the drains in Australia. Funny.
It's a thing, apparently.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, trying to see where we can take this in such a short amount of time. I would rather just hear maybe, share something about you guys that we don't know. Is there anything like, or do you just share it all on your channel already? I mean, you're pretty open book, really.
I feel like we don't do a lot right now, to be honest. Like,
yeah, I don't know how you work. Are you 40 hours a week at your jobs?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you're seriously working 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
Because you can't call eBay part-time with the numbers you're pulling in.
It doesn't feel part-time.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk numbers because that's not why we're here. But you guys are really killing it. I mean, it's impressive. So
I think we don't even think of it because we are both working full-time and we have our incomes already. We don't think of those numbers as money. It's just like a high score.
Yeah, because you don't pull from that money at all, do you?
No, we're just fully reinvesting and just building, feeding the beast.
Nice. And that's the best way to do it, because one day you'll have something incredible built where you can pull from it and it won't feel like anything. It won't.
I mean, we hope so.
Oh, you got this.
A lot of work.
How many listings do you think you have up right now? Do you know?
It's just over 2,000.
Holy heck. So you've got like the premium store, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I don't know all these different tiers and things. Brad's only done, so he will let us know.
Yeah, they may call it something different there. It's weird the little differences there are between, you know, the different, you know, the eBays in UK and Australia and here. They differ in so many ways. Like I just recently learned that in the UK, their auctions are free, or scheduled listings are free.
What?
For us to schedule a listing, I don't even know. It's like $3. It's crazy or something. I don't know what it costs, but they get to list, you know, schedule them out, because I kept hearing them say that. I'm like, why would they do that? What do you guys, you don't know if you have that or not, or if you charge?
I really don't even focus on that side. I think Brad does all of the technical eBay things, and I am much more sourcing, picking, packing, listing, taking photographs, and I'm just not interested.
Do you share the listing? I mean, you both list, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we both list.
Okay.
But the things that Brad does that I don't is, like, he just knows all of the analytical stuff that I'm like, okay, you're good with that? You don't need me to know? Great, because I don't want to know. Doesn't interest me.
Right. Well, and you know, I wasn't going to bring the guys in, and I still don't want to. I'm gonna let Tommy get his stuff prepared there, but I do want Brad to poke his head in, because I feel like it'd be weird if he didn't come and wave at us before we were done. So all we really want is a hello and a wave, and then you can like run away, Brad, at some point.
Come and stick your head in.
Yeah.
You are.
And you know what is adorable? Like that he wears this cute little suit to his what day is that? Saturday?
Tuesday night, reseller life.
Night. Okay. Yeah, he wears his suit and his hat, and it's just like it's epic.
It doesn't translate to America. So the whole premise of our Tuesday night interviews is from an Australian TV show that was pretty old. I think it was on back in the day, called This Is Your Life. And they interviewed people, obviously. So the first time that we did This Is Your Reseller Life, he really did a dodgy Photoshop and put his head on the presenter's body of that show. And then people started asking him, well, are you going to wear a suit? Because that show was very formal. So he did it just once for the first one. Now he just has to wear a suit.
He will do this for as long as that series you have going goes on. It has to be that way now. You've had incredible guests on these. I mean,
it's been so much fun.
Hey, Brad. Brad, I have something to say to you.
Yeah.
Over, not under. Okay.
I just shove it on there.
It's got to be so that we. No, okay. Well, I'll demonstrate.
You guys stay on as long as you want as well, because me and Tommy can start late. So.
Okay. I know, an hour goes by crazy fast.
Yeah, it does. It goes really fast. I find that when we have guests on as well. Oh, it's over. I hope we said interesting things.
Right. You're like, it just started, really, but okay. Yeah. Because you try to keep them at about an hour, typically, it seems like, right? When you do yours. Yeah. Are you pretty hardcore on that?
Yeah. Quit while you're ahead.
Well, like for the sake of your guest, maybe. I mean, that way they know what they're expecting. I don't know how. I don't know what's right and wrong in this world.
It's for them so that they can go about their lives and not be like, why are they keeping me for 3 hours? How do I say that I want to leave?
Yeah, that's true.
But then also we don't want to kind of have one person go for 3 hours and another person go for 45 minutes. We just keep them all to one time.
That's really smart. I didn't think that way. It's equal. Yeah.
Yeah, just everyone gets an hour. And then also you just kind of quit while we're still hopefully saying interesting things and we don't just ramble on, because we will just stay on and talk to someone for 5 hours easily.
Right. Well, I've seen you do it. Yeah. When you come on with us over there, it's so easy just to chat with people live. It's so fun.
And we love that, but I mean, if we did that every Tuesday, oh my God, we'd just never get anything done.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's talk about some of the guests you've had on, because you guys go ahead and can you say at least a few of the names that you've had on that we would.
Yes, our very first one was Bronwyn Bowman. She's an Australian reselling mum on the Gold Coast.
She's hilarious and fun.
Yeah, we absolutely adore her.
Yeah.
So she kicked off the whole series, which I think was really great to have a woman and a woman who does eBay by herself.
Yeah.
I was pretty pleased with that. So she was an amazing first guest.
Cool.
And we've kind of rolled through the Australians that we were getting to know. So we've had Rod and Drew, who had us on the waffle originally.
I love them too. They're just so good.
They're amazing. They're really great.
Yeah.
And then we had some international guests. I can't remember who our first international guest was. It might have been Benjamin from Rally Roots. So we started scheduling Sunday as well, so that we weren't getting people up at 3 a.m.
That was so good too. Like, I didn't know a whole lot about, Ben or Callie. Like, I mean, I kind of, but
yeah, they're wonderful. They're so nice.
How did that happen? Like, 'cause that's a pretty big deal, really. Did you just reach out and they said yes, or I mean?
So we Ben a little bit just on Instagram. He helped us out verifying a few pieces of clothing, just authenticating some things and having a chat. And he also is a fan of our Australian Pickers Retro Rescuers.
Oh my God, they are so
Retro Rescuers on. They are amazing. So Ben was watching that and popped in the chat.
Yeah. They're going to do big things. I just can see it. I don't think they're very big yet, are they?
Well, they're not really bothered with kind of growing their online presence. They're like, we'll just do it when we feel like it, because they're just so...
Well, when they're found, like when people realize they exist, it's going to explode. They're that incredible.
They're fantastic. Go and check out Retro Rescuers.
Yes, highly suggest it.
Oh, they're fantastic. Yeah. So I think Ben watched that one, and then after that, we put out on Instagram just who wants to go next. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And we were like, oh, we need to find another time.
Yeah, it's so hard. This was hard for, like, first of all, I suck at figuring out time between Australia and here. It's hard. You guys
try.
Like, I still don't even know how many hours difference it is. There's a half-hour increment in there, which is so dumb. I don't know why this happened in the world. Like, half hour, like everywhere in the world should just be hour differences, right?
How do we get half hour in there? I don't even know.
I know. So I literally finally downloaded an app. It's like a world clock scheduler or something. Where you're gonna need it, girl. If you're anything like me, anyway. But it's so good. Like, I put in Austin, Texas, New York, and England. So the free version only lets you have 4, but you can remove them and add. So you pick your time you want to look at, and it just gives you this column of times for all these places. I'm like, that makes such good sense, and I'll take it. And then I
figured it out, and I said, Traci, just schedule it, and I'll just look at when it's scheduled, and I'll be there.
I literally almost told you that. I was going to say, just go with whatever YouTube says. But that wasn't very professional of me, but yet I'm not going for professional. You guys seem to, like, not really, I mean, you have professional sides to you, I see, but you want to kind of keep it casual too, it seems like.
Well, the thing is, if we're going to keep doing YouTube, if at the start you kind of present yourself in a way that's different from who you really are, you're going to have to keep that up. And that's going to be such an effort and so ingenuine, and you're going to end up resenting it and being this fake person as soon as the camera starts rolling. And I just think that's not sustainable.
No.
And it's probably not what people want to watch either. And if
So
they do watch that, there's lots of places they can.
Yeah, exactly. You can get that everywhere. So if you just come out here and go, I'm a mess, take it or leave it, right? That's okay.
We put out a video this morning and Brad was playing it before he uploaded it. And I said, Brad, every time I'm on the screen, I'm doing or saying something so weird and stupid. And he was just like, yeah, well, uploaded.
Yeah, done. You don't get a choice. Okay, give us one example, please.
In the very first 3 seconds, I don't know. I was like, instead of talking like a normal person, I was like, I'm gonna sing it.
Oh my God, I love you more.
We'll refilm the intro. He was like, no, that's what you said.
Awesome. I'm kind of known around. This is why I think this is all, because not everyone's like that, but my kids are always like, do you have to sing everything, Mom? I'm like, yes, I do. And I embarrass the hell out of him. And see, he's going to embarrass you because you don't have kids to embarrass. So that is why.
They want me to have 5 kids.
Right. From now on, kids, it is. No, that's awesome. I love that about your video. You don't really know what you're going to get. They're all a little bit different.
It depends on my mood.
And how hungry you are.
Yes. You can see me just hit a wall sometimes where I just get resting bitch face.
Yeah.
And I'm just staring off into the distance or just looking into the camera like,
you're like, feed me. Yeah, Brad, give her a cheeseburger more often, please.
Oh, it's terrible. I'll get better at YouTube one day.
Yeah, don't. I highly suggest you don't.
Oh God, it is what it is, you know, and if people come around and watch and subscribe, that's so awesome. And if they don't, like,
yeah. Well, and you recently hit 750, right? That's really good.
And which we were just like, what is happening? Why are you all here? You're amazing. Thank you.
I know, it's so weird. You're like, okay, I'll keep going with it then. But it's likable and you're real, and that's all it has to be.
Oh, that's encouraging. So I'm just like, oh, we are strange.
Perfection. Well, do you feel like you were kind of stuck in the Australia zone of YouTube for a bit, and maybe, like, I think Tommy gets credit for me, you know, reaching further across. I knew plenty of UK people, but I kind of stopped watching most of them, and I would still catch the here and there, but I didn't really feel I belong there. But I do, I do, and it's fun. And it took somebody to kind of go, no, go over there, and I did, and I'm so glad.
Oh, that's been awesome because we don't have a heap of Australian reselling YouTubers. We're getting people on board, and we love all of them. But we're just a little group, really. So first time Brad said, like, come and talk to these people, Tommy and Traci, I was like, no, I don't know them. What? And then you're just so kind and encouraging and introduced us to so many people. Yeah. It's like now we're hopping on and talking to people in the UK, in America, and it's just expanding our little world. It's awesome.
It is. It's so amazing. I just feel like these people are true friends, you know, where who knew? I don't know. It freaks me out. It's like it's kind of creepy, maybe. Like maybe well, creepy. I don't know.
I've always been a really kind of a private person, so meeting people on the internet or coming on and doing something like this was just so outside of my comfort zone. I don't even know where my comfort zone is anymore. Like, it's just been blown out of the water. I would never have done this a year ago.
Do you need a comfort zone, you think?
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Maybe
not. Yeah, I don't think.
But we've now met up with Cara, Thrifty Pixie.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just someone who we were kind of talking to on the internet. She was like, guys, I live 20 minutes away. Like, why aren't we hanging out? She was like, come to my house. So we just came over and we all went to Salvo's together. And then we actually spent like 9 hours thrifting. And we're just like, okay, cool, we're friends now. High five.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And if you can endure each other that long while doing the same thing, not competitively, but kind of, I mean, you're all out there for the same stuff, but it never feels competitive. I've thrifted with so many people at one time, like 20 people in one store as a group, and it's fun, and everybody leaves with stuff, and nobody gets catty about it. That's killer. You can't ask for more. No, and it's just fun to have someone in your town that does it also.
Yeah, and people are coming out of the woodworks being like, oh, hey, I saw you guys. And we're like, what?
Oh, you're getting spotted.
That's crazy. But yeah, it's really fun. I think that's my main motivation now for being a part of YouTube, is just meeting people. It's been amazing.
Right. And it's weird. Like, I went to my daughter's, she's in a band. I went to her show once, and someone came up to me and he goes, your video of your IKEA bags inspired me. And I built this shelf, and he pulls out his phone and shows what he built for his girlfriend.
Oh my God.
So I'm nobody, right? And I'm just there to see my daughter. And so it kind of was weird. I'm going, this is so odd. But I'll explain that it wasn't so odd, that I found out after the fact. But anyway, he showed me this whole shelf he hand built and put the IKEA bags. She sells on Poshmark mostly and starting eBay. She just got over cancer. Like, his story, I was there. I was in tears. Okay. I'm like, can I please have her on my show when she's feeling better? Like, please, I want to talk to her, because he's like, she watches all your videos. She loves you. I'm going, first of all, weird. I had 600 subs or something. You don't expect that. Well, it turned out it wasn't just out of the blue. Apparently my daughter knew him because it was her boyfriend's boss or something. And so she had told him about my video, because I was just thinking, this is so weird. Like, I know, but then it made sense. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It's not so out there or bizarre. But how cool is that people can come up to you and go, hey, you did this for me. And I just cringe thinking of that video going, I really should redo that.
It's surreal and confronting, but then you're like, okay, wow, cool.
In every video you get comments, I'm sure, saying what you've done for somebody or something that you gave encouragement. I don't know.
Someone even found it mildly interesting. We're like, okay, great.
Yeah. And one time, I don't know if Brenda's in here. She's so sweet, but she commented once. She goes, if you ever offer a class, I'll be the first to sign up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'd be the worst teacher in the freaking world. No, but thanks, Hey, Brian.
I think a lot of people don't realize it. I mean, there's so many people that are selling and absolutely killing it and doing amazing things. And the only difference is we're filming it.
Yeah. Well, and we all do it a little different. I'm going to say it over and over for the rest of my life. I really didn't see a need for me on YouTube, and there may not be. I'm not saying there is, but Lonnie Garage Flips is the one that told me. He goes, you do it your way, and maybe somebody else does it this way or does it part-time also, and needs to see that side of it, because there's a lot of people out there that do it full-time that make a ton of money, and maybe that doesn't resonate with somebody that does it part-time as a mother, or there's plenty of room for everyone. So that was really inspiring.
Mel, back from Burnout, said something quite similar, and we're like, oh my God, so many people want to watch you. You're a mum who has all these circumstances that are specific to you. And there's so many people now following her channel who are like, wow, this is me. I needed to see this. And it was the same. She was like, oh, do you think so? And we're like, yeah, do it.
Yeah, she's adorable. And she's getting better and better and better. I like her videos so much. She's good. And just her bubbly personality.
So good.
Yeah, because you just think, oh, I'm supposed to do it like everybody else. No, you're not. You're supposed to do it like you do it. And however that is, somebody out there is going to resonate with that. And Tommy wants to know, so is this two assy thrifters? Is that the name now with the filming style that Brad is taking?
Change our official handle to two assy thrifters.
You could put the U in there.
Just this morning, I don't really know what that was about.
No. It's perfect. Don't worry.
Oh God.
Yeah, and I don't know where everyone is. I hardly ever look at people's sub count, but it usually really shocks me when it's people that I like and they're lower on the numbers of subs. But everybody has to grow and it's a phase. It's always an upward, process anyway, and it'll get there. But you guys have done it really well. Yeah, Andrew, let's get them over 800 subs tonight. That'd be awesome. I know. That'd be so cool. And I mean, hopefully people will rewatch this and realize how special you two are.
We are not special at all.
But you are. To me. I like you.
Thanks.
Oh. What? Chats with Chick? What are you saying? Oh, I see. I think I renamed you to Aussie Thrifters. Okay.
I'm into it.
We're keeping it there. Tommy. See? Imperfect.
Oh my goodness.
Hilarious. I really didn't see that. I know I changed everything at the last minute when I had to reschedule. I'm like, I'm going to try something here. Well, I tried misspelling. It happens.
I absolutely love the idea of Chats with Chicks, and I just think there's no better channel. This is the perfect place for it. I'm really excited to see who you get around.
Well, maybe you'll come back on one day when I'm not so nervous about it, because I'll be honest. I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know I wanted to do and get to know you. And there's so many, like, I really, truly am just gravitating to the couples because I find it really interesting. Like Zahir and Beck, they're going to be on next. I just think they're amazing. I know. And they do it. And you've had them on your channel, right? And your interview. Yeah.
Actually, they must have been our first international.
Really?
I suck.
We all suck. No, but I knew I saw their thumbnail. I'm like, nope, I'm not watching that one either till after this. Like, I don't. Yeah. But
they are so humble, and I'm really, really glad that you put us onto them. I imagine it was likely through you that I first saw Zahir and Beck. I think they have changed the way that I actually think about my goals, because I think at one point I was thinking to myself, yeah, I just want to like quit my job and do this full time. Mm-hmm. And I think that if I had done that and had to kind of supplement and do any part-time work, I would have felt like I'm not doing it well enough. Mm-hmm. And then watching them, they just do whatever they need to do. They're like, oh, hey, we're going to work for a bit for this company. Okay, we're doing good. We actually need time to be on eBay. We're just going to do eBay full time. They just adjust to whatever circumstances. And I'm like, oh, thanks, guys. I probably needed to see that.
It's refreshing, right? And I need to see stumbles in life. I need to see that not everything works out sometimes.
They just absolutely just do whatever is going to work for them at the time. Yeah. And I can't even think of the word that I want. They're adjustable is not it. Help me out. I need a thesaurus.
I don't know. Actually, like, Beck is just, to me, angelic, and yet she's so not. So we'll kind of figure her out. We'll figure her out next week. But Zahir has actually said quite a few things the past week that have really struck a chord with me. And I don't typically go to Zahir to learn. I'm sorry, Zahir. But I have learned a lot from him this week. And it's more about kind of how to keep your head level, like to stay level-headed in times that are maybe stressful, or how to treat situations, or, just specific things. He's always very specific with how he feels. And I literally the other day go, you must be an amazing dad. Like, yeah, you must be. And I knew he was. I mean, obviously, look at him. But his words of wisdom are strong. And you don't even expect it, but it happens. So I'm so excited that they are a part of our lives. Like, it's like a family here. And that's bizarre to say, but it's true.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but chats with chicks. There's a lot of guy channels out there, it seems, and a lot of groups of guys that get to do shows. And there's been plenty of girl groups too. They don't seem to really go anywhere. And I don't care if this goes anywhere. This isn't about anything other than just, I want to get to know people. So I don't know.
I love it. I'm really excited.
Yeah. Now if I can
put it together.
Well, we'll see if I keep it up because I'm kind of bad at keeping things going. But hey, there's no special. I didn't promise anything. That's the trick of life. That's right. Don't make promises, because what if you can't keep them? Then you're not a liar. Do you have any mottos you live by? Like literally, that's mine. Like, don't make promises. Like, do you have anything that you really stick by? Like,
oh my God, I don't know. I can't think of any, but then I'll jump up and I'll think of something really great.
Think of something really great, and we'll go hang out on Tommy's channel when they're done talking. And
let's do it.
Our life mottos. I can jot down a few, and they're all just not that incredible.
I think just keep it real. Just I don't see any point in pretending or projecting something that you're not. I think we all feel a lot of pressure though. Like, social media is a crazy, crazy place, and I think we all want to appear a certain way, but that's not helpful to anyone.
No. And you know, Tommy gives me hell, and so do some other people. Like, I came into YouTube and they didn't see a side of me, you know, till later that I have. Instead, I was prim and proper or whatever. Well, no, it's hard to go onto YouTube and do a video because you don't know, first of all, what you're doing, and it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes, right? I mean, I'm sure your first video was slightly...
Our first video, I wouldn't speak, and it's just Brad telling really, really bad dad jokes to try and get me to relax, and me just rolling my eyes out of my head.
Yeah. So it always takes time to get where you can be the true you. It doesn't mean you're not you. You just can't show all of you all at once, because you're putting yourself out there as a woman, especially. Do you have people that have bothered you, or do you get trolls?
Yeah, not too much. Not too much. Yeah. Most people are absolutely wonderful. Yeah. But I've made a choice to just not even have the logins. I don't log into our Instagram. I only see the public YouTube. And Brad can just vet all of that for all I care. I don't need to see it. I think that I'm resilient enough to not care what people are saying, but I resent that they can get my attention.
I know.
I just don't even want to.
The power to ignore is a beautiful power to have, really. I'll get there one day. Until then, I'll just spout off my mouth.
Not caring is an ability I'd love to perfect.
I think you can do it. I kind of wonder, because Brad is the person I communicate with when I communicate with you two, mostly because he runs the Instagram, and it was his email, and it was, you know, I'm like, okay, so Brad's a really big part of this, but I get it. It makes total sense.
Yeah, I try to be pretty non-contactable, really, which I don't know if that'll change or not.
No, keep it that way. I highly suggest it. Make him do the work.
Hey, he seems better suited to it.
Yeah. Definitely.
People don't like when women are blokey or outspoken. Well, suck it.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, you don't have to always be outspoken or blokey, as she puts it. Like, we all have our quieter times too. You know, it's just part of it. But man,
videos where I won't shut up, and some videos where I barely speak. Like, I can't pretend, even if I wanted to.
We all know when you need a chicken burger.
That usually does fix it.
Yeah, usually. Yeah, it's a mood thing. Well, I don't really want to go too much longer because I really want to see the boys.
Let's get the last one.
Yeah. So want to see them because I want to also hang out with them afterwards.
Can't crash ours, but you could crash theirs.
So if we can put Tommy's channel in the chat, anybody, please, thank you. And I appreciate everybody that's been helping, the moderators too. Hey, Crazy Daisy. So we can all go over there and watch the men do like a true chat where it's not so giggly or stupid, because I do giggle all the time and I can't help it. It's just who I am.
I also cannot help it.
Did you ever get kind of harassed about that? I did in the beginning. Like,
not yet. I imagine it's coming though.
They're like, why do you giggle so much?
Why do you laugh at the end of all your sentences? It's because there's a camera filming me and I feel strange.
Well, and I thought it was more of a nerve thing, but it's just not. I always giggle. I just do. So why are you judging people?
Yeah, back off.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be happy.
Exactly. Oh, what a crime to giggle. How dare you, Tracy? Sort yourself out.
Yeah, because the next minute I'm just going to call you a bitch. No. And giggle about it. Thank you, Andrew, for putting Tommy's. I'm assuming that's not the channel, that's the actual show, which would be cool. And I'm assuming they're probably ready to gear up. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But do you have anything coming up you want to plug before we say goodbye? What's coming up next in your world?
Coming up next is Tuesday night Australian time. I don't think we have anything else. Yeah, Tuesday night we are going to interview. We're going to have a chat with this Aussie guy. He is called the Aussie VHS Thrifter. He's absolutely hysterical and we know next to nothing about him. So I don't know if it's a good time for the US, but you know, if you can't sleep or if you want to watch it back, over on Two Aussie Thrifters, the VHS Thrifter.
Oh my God, I can't believe you said hysterical. I can't believe you said that name. I literally just subbed to them like last night. I was searching, I was doing YouTube search for Australian eBay sellers and seeing what came up, because I like the ones I found so far, so I want to see if there's more, and he is one of them. So they don't have that many subs yet either, or it's not that big of a channel yet, is it?
Not yet, but
you have some over there that are huge. There's one guy that's huge. I can't remember his name. Like, I don't know. I've talked to you off screen about it, but he's huge, and I didn't know he existed over there.
I don't know he exists because.
Right, I'll find it. I subbed to a bunch of them, and in hopes that you would know who.
Unless I've royally stuffed up, I'm pretty sure that he is next in line.
Cool. Yeah, and the timing is hard here because I think that was about 4:30 a.m. for me.
Yeah, I think, this one might be like an hour later than usual because he finishes work a bit later. He also said that he needs a later spot because it'll be R18.
Oh, there we go. I like it.
Real interesting.
Ooh, excellent. I like
it. I
that.
don't think we've scheduled that one yet, but keep an eye out.
Cool. Awesome. And you do videos, what, once, twice a week? How many times? Do you have a schedule on that?
Usually once a week. We usually upload them about now.
Cool. Yeah. And if you sub to them, they'll sub back. I know they will.
I don't have control over that, but I'm sure we will.
Brad will. Jaz won't know what's going on, but Brad will do it, I swear.
I never know what's going on. That live will be a bit later, yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, Brad, are you guys about ready to take off, you think? We'll send everyone over there, and I just thank you so much, and I want to have you on again, and I really thank you for being the first chick to chat.
Thanks for letting me be awkward.
I know, it's never going to get better than this, so don't ever expect anything else. This is it. This is all you get, people. But we like it that way. So
we do.
Yeah. Anyway, we will see you all over at Tommy's, and I don't know, grab a drink, grab something to eat. We'll see you there.
See you. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Jaz. Thanks, Brad.